Welcome to the Six Figure Business Mastery Podcast, where every week Kirsten and Jeannie dive into the essential topics to fuel your business growth. From copywriting to course creation, mindset to video marketing, they've got you covered. Tune in for expert guest interviews on all things marketing and business, and learn how to work on your business, not just in it. So, get ready to unlock your business potential and take it to the next level.
I'm Kirsten, and this is Jeannie, my business partner, and this is Kiva. And we're super excited to have you here today. We've got some fantastic guests that I think you guys are going to love hearing their story. So, Jeannie, do you want to introduce our guests?
I do. With us, we're so excited to have Phyllis and Mark, and they are full-time cruisers. How cool is that? Over 1.5 years ago, they sold their house and moved onto cruise ships. So they cruise and travel year-round. And they have an amazing YouTube channel, which you're going to hear about. And we just think you're going to love them. So welcome, Phyllis and Mark.
Thanks for having us.
We're so excited to be here.
The house that you guys sold was in Florida, because I know you guys were introduced to us by Kim. Just used to be in an organization called Sassy Sisters, which I'm in now. And you too. It's such a fun group. And you got referred to us because you and Mark were kind of thinking about having a YouTube channel to talk about what it's like to live on a cruise ship. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
So when we sold our house a year and a half ago, and by the way, we had a great big old house, a beautiful house. And when we downsized to nothing, that was quite the chore. But when we did this, friends were very interested in what in the world we're doing. How do you just move on to a cruise ship? And you should start a YouTube channel and vlog your way through life. And to be honest, neither one of us wanted to feel like we wanted to go to work. Neither one of us did.
Not yet.
And we didn't know much about YouTube other than pushing play and watching YouTube. I guess it was a couple of months ago, Mark was watching, there's one YouTuber he follows like crazy. He's a poker player. His name is Daniel Negreanu. And every day during the summertime in the World Series of Poker, Mark couldn't wait for his next YouTube to go up. And boy, he would just push that button. And I'm like, okay, maybe we should do that because maybe people would want to follow us like that. But we had no clue on how to do a YouTube. Did you?
We knew two things. We knew how to watch them and we knew how to video off of our phone. And that's it. That's the two things.
Kirsten mentioned earlier, a friend of mine, a mutual friend, I called her and I said, hey, do you know anybody that can put us in the direction of somebody to help us edit and make a YouTube channel? And that's when we met Kirsten and Jean. Yeah. It has been amazing.
Yeah, it has.
So I think from the time we spoke, from the initial time to the time our channel started was what? 2 weeks?
Yeah. And it's interesting for us because most of our clients are business owners. We work with a lot of local businesses, moving companies, real estate agents, but we work with a lot of online coaches and consultants. So for us, most of our clients are building their channel because they want to take advantage of search engine optimization. They want to build brand awareness and know and trust. So I know when I first spoke with you guys, it was like, hey, they just want to build a YouTube channel for monetization. So that was really the first time I've worked with someone who was just all out about, let's get our channel monetized and let's start making money from YouTube. Most of our clients, because they have businesses, when they get monetized, it's just a bonus. It's not the reason they start their channel. So I was thrilled to get to work with you guys because it's just a different kind of, adventure for us.
I can totally see how because we did have businesses in times past, had we still owned a business, I can absolutely see how, boy, we missed this opportunity. Because just not understand, we are not techie people. So just you connecting us with techie people has made all the difference.
Yeah, if we were still business owners, we would like this route. The advertising is awesome. It's such, I'm going to say little work compared to what used to be the way that you had to advertise now. If we own your own business now, you can do a little bit of work and you can reach so many more people, ears and eyes through YouTube. And it's
not just YouTube, Instagram,
right,
Twitter,
all the platforms. That's
Instagram.
Right. So it's not even fair owning a business anymore.
And it's so interesting because I think people don't really think about when you build a YouTube channel, you're creating evergreen content, looking something up. And the video that popped up was 10 years old. You think about it. That video had been working for that business owner 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a decade, right?
Yep. 10 years.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you take that video, like you said, and you repurpose it for all of your social media platforms. So you've done something once, but you're getting a traction everywhere with that one piece of content. So we like simple and we're the lazy, so to speak. I mean, one thing to use it a lot of times.
It's efficient. It's efficient.
I like that. Yep. Efficient.
Yes. So Zach, time you started with us, I'll never forget our conversation because, again, I wasn't nervous to speak with you, but again, it was something different because you were going for monetization. What all do they know about YouTube? And it was just so awesome having the conversation with you guys. You knew exactly what most business owners know, how to film a video on your phone and you know how to watch videos, but like that whole concept of SEO or collaborations, or I think on our checklist for YouTube, it's 52 steps, 52 things that have to be checked off by your virtual assistant before that video goes live. And so none of us really had any idea what it takes, to really build a channel when you first get started. So what was the biggest eye opener for you when it came to actually deciding to do this and realizing what it took?
I literally still don't know what she does. So I have no idea what she does. And there's no way in the world that I would even try to replicate what she does. For me, it's like I send her virtually the information and she miraculously puts it together and makes an amazing video. Now, what she does for us, I don't know how other people do their channels. Our internet is very wonky on the ships. So we can only upload in like little mini 5-minute segments. And it's really incredible what she does because I watch these 5-minute segments and I tell her exactly like where I might want to start or speed this up or whatnot. Because we're still working on our relationships. We're less than 2 months old. So we're working on our relationship. In the meantime, I'm holding her hand as to what we want. But so what it is we upload 20, 30, 40, 50 videos, and she somehow puts it into one in no time. When I get all of them done, and we use the Trello system, and once I get it all done, I'll tag her. And I swear, it's not much later that she's, okay, done. What task do you want me to do next?
Give me another day or two to put something together.
Yeah. It's her. But isn't it beautiful? Because I know when we paired you with your virtual assistant, I know that there was 2 people that you both really liked.
Yeah.
And you picked, you always say go with your gut. So when you picked your virtual assistant, you're picking somebody who, again, you feel some connection to because they're all trained and they all love video editing and social media and graphic design. So they're all capable of doing the task. But having someone that you really feel like gets you is important. And I know that for you guys, there are a lot of Filipinos on the cruise ship. So when I told you that we would be hired from the Philippines, that made you really happy. And so has that relationship really turned out the way you expected it to? I know she's fast. She gets to do what she loves. You guys get to do what you love. But do you see this being a long-term relationship?
Very much. And so what we didn't talk about yet was when we decided to do YouTube, to make the channel, I had gotten into Facebook groups to try to find a virtual assistant. And I specifically was looking for somebody from the Philippines.
Okay.
Specifically. And I was not going anywhere else. So when you told me that you train people in the Philippines, I was like, oh, we were meant to be partners in business together. So it was just.
It made it so much easier because our search was not going well.
No.
We didn't know what in the world we were doing. We didn't know, okay, is this a scam or is this person real? You never know what in the world you're getting. And whoever we were getting wasn't going to be really trained into the way that you train them. So we probably, if we hadn't found you, we
would still be just talking about it.
Exactly.
For real.
So it made all the difference in the world. And you asked, how's our relationship? It's better than what we thought it was going to be.
We love her. We absolutely love her.
I'm telling her, go to sleep.
I
Go to sleep.
Hopefully one day we end up on a cruise to the Philippines and we can actually meet her in person. That is, I would love for that to come to fruition, and it might. We do one vacation a year because, as I always say to people, the Caribbean, which where our cruise ships are always out of, that's our backyard. That is where we live. We live in the Caribbean, but we want to do one big trip a year. And because of her, the Philippines is totally in our realm, in our radar.
That'd probably make a good YouTube.
It's so fun because you get to travel to all of these great destinations and showcase the places that you're visiting. And you guys do all kinds of interesting content about what it's like to live on a cruise ship. So give everyone the name of your channel. I don't think we brought that up yet.
Full-time cruisers.
Yes. I love it. Well, wait, Mark, when you were talking about how your search wasn't going well, we can relate to that because when Jeannie and I first started looking for virtual people overseas about 15 years ago, we like to joke that if it can be done wrong, we did it wrong. We've been in 6 different countries. We have been taken advantage of. We have probably been the worst bosses on the planet because we didn't have all the standard operating procedures and everything in place and great onboarding structure. So I think it's really hard. That's one thing we talk a lot to our clients about is yes, we're providing a virtual assistant for you that they get to do what they love, graphic design and video editing and social media. And we do train them to make sure that they're really proficient. They can stay on brand. They meet deadlines. They're great at communicating. But we also work with our clients like you to understand cultural differences and to understand how to manage a virtual assistant through workflows. Did that surprise you, having workflows and a way to manage the process? Was that something you were expecting?
Yeah, and that whole Trello system scared the heck out of me. So we actually didn't use it for quite some time. We finally started using it a couple of weeks ago. We were doing everything through WhatsApp because I was just scared to death to try it. And she kept saying, no, I'll teach you, really, I'll teach you. And so she went in there and set up everything we needed. And then she taught me how to do it. And now I'm so thankful that it's there because it is much easier. Mark doesn't know it yet. I have to teach him how to do it.
I promise you, it's so funny because when we have the graduations for the interns, because we actually do have a graduation from our paid internship. So they graduate before they get to go to work for clients like you guys. And I always ask them 3 questions. And the first one is, what did you like about our internship? And they will all say the structure and the training and the team. They love it. Well, I usually ask them, what can we improve on? It's usually our team getting back to them faster because we've been a little bit short staffed. They're often waiting a couple of days for our team to sign off on the content that they're doing or give them edits. But I always say the third thing is I always ask them, when you first went through our training portal and you saw all of our SOPs and the Trello process, I always joke and I said, did your eyes roll back in your head? And did you think, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? And they all start laughing like you're laughing, right? So they felt the same way you guys feel when you first see it. And so I like to remind them when they go to work for you that they've worked through that process and then they love it. That's what the structure is. That's the organization.
love it.
But it's overwhelming. And that's what we encourage them to always encourage them that they can coach you through it because they've used it multiple times already. So I love that she helped you learn it.
She really did.
It's an awful lot like drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, it just blasts you all at one time. So
It's really interesting because, it's so detailed and that's why. But at the end of the day, when you're working with someone who's in another country and 2 different time zones, knowing exactly what's been done and what hasn't been done and who's responsible for the next step, I think is invaluable.
I agree. And using WhatsApp, I was always so afraid I was going to wake her up or because, that little ping or vibration or whatever. So we didn't really want to go down that rabbit hole and stay down. Well, we did go down the rabbit hole. But we didn't want to stay down there. We wanted to make it better. So we weren't interrupting her sleep or she wasn't interrupting our sleep. So using Trello when you're in different time zones is definitely the way to go. I know that we're even going to get better at Trello. We've only been doing it for 2 weeks now. And I know there's more for us to learn.
even if you're not in 2 time zones, it's going to, because
Trello's easier. Mhm.
it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
You do your part and then it follows. So
Yeah.
it's there for a purpose.
Yeah. And Jeannie, it's really funny because with we originally were hiring for people for her marketing agency. So these workflows and things were created and SOPs were created over time. And it's funny, you don't just sit down and write down a 52 list of items to get checked off. As you're working through the process where you're like, oh, we need to add that step. Oh, this changed. Let's correct and add that step. But what you realize that all it really is a detailed checklist of everything that gets done. in the right order. And then the process allows each person to see, oh, well, is this video in my court or is this video in your court? Like who's working on this video right now?
And I love it that there's an app for it too. So if I have my phone and I think about it, boom, my app, because I like to do things off my laptop. I'm a laptop person. But when I'm just walking around, if I think of something, boom, I can use my phone to just make notes also. I do love that.
And just as a sidebar, the ball is usually in our court.
Yes, they're really fast at turning things around. You started your channel about 2 weeks after we started working with you. And I then actually hired your virtual assistant in 2 weeks, really, with them working with us. And you're right there with the fastest people. Like generally people will come in and it usually takes a month to 6 weeks before they're really ready to get their video production going. But you guys were ready to just rock and roll with your videos. It made hiring really easy, really close to being monetized already, aren't you?
I'm going to say it'll be within 7 days. We are 600 watch hours away, but we have a lot of videos getting ready to go up. I'm working on so many at the same time. I just wish there was more hours in a day for me to just get it done because I have so much in drive right now. And I have to learn how to do one, get it out, do another instead of working on 4 at the same time.
I can be the same way. Sometimes I have multiple things in process, so I get it.
You're looking at the queen of squirrels because I'm like all over the place. But I think she's putting up with me.
But it must be so fun to enjoy the cruises, but then to be able to share that with other people and all of the knowledge that you've learned from cruising.
I have kind of a fun story, and it is amazing. It's so much fun that we can still have fun and put out content at the same time. We're figuring how to make it all work together without it being any kind of stress level whatsoever, because we really do want to share the experience with people, and we want to share knowledge and information to make cruising easier for others. But this past week on the cruise ship, it was crazy. I can't tell you how many people came up to us. What's your YouTube? It was incredible. It was really weird.
You're celebrities, exactly. How
In fact,
cool.
we were doing a video out there's an area called Central Park, and here comes a woman. She's probably 30-something years old, and she was just slowing down, slowly walking by. And then she sat down right where we were. And we kept on going, but in my mind, I was like, kind of weird. Well, after we stopped, and we weren't doing anything long, we were just kind of doing our intro segments and our ending segments. So once we stopped, she says, I'm so glad to see you. My name is Jenny. Her name was Jenny, and she was watching us on YouTube. And then there we were. It was so cool.
So fun.
You have to think about it because I know I watch a ton of YouTube videos, and I feel like there's a lot of people that I follow and have been following for years. I feel like I know them. I mean, if I saw them out in public, I would definitely want to say, hey, like I follow your channel. Don't want to interrupt you, but hey, great content. But it's so interesting because if you think about it, if you're educating people on different aspects of cruising and helping them either plan their trip or pack for their trip or help them get comfortable with something maybe they were uncomfortable with, they feel like they know you because video really builds know and trust. Think about how cool that was for her to actually meet you. I think that's really awesome.
And I love the fact that we must come across as approachable because they're not having a problem with approaching us.
Absolutely do. You absolutely do. It's fabulous.
Our biggest problem right now, and we've even talked about this, we've got to make sure that we start cutting our conversations down on those conversations down because
we got to get back. We want to go.
They want to talk, and we've got stuff that we've got to do. And when they start running closer and closer together, it's going to be a 24-hour deal.
Bottom line is, I can't believe that things have evolved so quickly. I did not expect, because when we started doing this, my frame of mind was my target was 6 months to be monetized. I can't even believe how quickly it's all happening. And without Allie, and we just adore her. Without her, there was no way in the world that we could have gotten it out so quickly.
So it's going to be
ever.
Our first watch hour was actually August the 15th. So it's going to be within 2 months. Now we still have to get approved. We're learning how to do that. So we've got to get them to give us a thumbs up, but at least we've hit our requirements as far as what they've told us that we've had to do. And we should
Soon we have 600 more hours. Yeah.
right. But we've got in order to do it within 2 months, we have 2 weeks to do that.
That's crazy. That will be monetized within 2 months. And from the time we did our first video or just our welcome to the time we actually did our first video was probably a 3-week gap.
Wow. Because it takes a little time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It all out.
Intro was easy. That was less than a 5-minute intro. But then we were like, okay, now what do we do?
Right. I know what whenever we talk, because I think we all get excited. And I'm like, well, did you think about this idea? And you're like, yeah, it's on the list. Did you think about this? No, I'll add it to the list. The list is really getting longer and longer. So I think a lot of times people, even business owners, worry that they'll run out of content. And I just don't think that's the case. I mean, for most business owners, they have so much information. And just like for you guys get to do fun stuff because it's excursions and things like that. But even just the basic things that you can educate people on is vast.
And that is a really good point, because at first I kept thinking, oh my gosh, where are we going to come up with ideas, content? How is it just going to flow? Like one day it's going to stop, and it's not. There is so much from just the smallest things on daily life on a ship, or just because your day on a cruise ship is the same as our day. It's just that we do it every day. So all those things, even from a lot of people don't know how to tell when you're in the public restroom, how to tell what's locked, what's occupied and not occupied. Small things like that. I teach people all the time. That one's not occupied. Go ahead, because it's white. They don't know to look for the white or green or red. They're all different colors, but little things like that. That's a video.
As men, we don't care. We just knock on the door.
Better. I think you probably don't worry about locking it either. Someone comes in.
What? Yes, me. I'll come back.
But we're going to run out of content anytime soon. That's awesome.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we just have an overflow of content right now.
Right now.
Love it. I love it.
Yes. So if you were going to talk to someone who's thinking about starting a YouTube channel, whether it's just for monetization or for their business, because like you said, you've owned lots of businesses in the past, what would your advice for them be?
Oh, definitely don't do your editing by yourself, because I have actually spoken to a couple of people, they're crew members that have a YouTube channel, and they tell me that, so one of them in particular, we just met him this week, that he only does short. And he says, I can handle editing shorts. He said, I would love to be able to do longs like you're doing, but the thought of me sitting down to edit that video would take him hours and hours and hours. And there's just not enough time in the day to go to work, do the video, edit the video. So my advice would be find somebody to edit and just take that off your plate. So you can go and, like in our case, we can go and have fun. But if we were business owners, I can go and make money. Editing a video is not making money. I'm sure if I owned a business, I'm going to make more. You have to compare. I'm going to make so much more money than what I'm going to pay somebody to edit, I think. So.
Yeah. And that guy's been doing it for a long time. It's not like he just started also. He's been doing it several years.
He's a cool guy.
Now, I would also think that probably being consistent in you posting, you don't want to post on the 1st of October and then the next one be the January the 31st, or let your people get used to. It's like when we were growing up and watching TV, we knew every Tuesday night Happy Days was going to be on, or it was like clockwork, and you sort of built your schedule around what you wanted to watch on TV. And I think if you're consistent with your YouTubes, I think a lot of people would be much more successful that way.
Yeah. I think for somebody like us who wants to be monetized just in daily life kind of thing, remembering to carry your stick. We have a big sign on our door now, stick, because look, what's happening. And I'll be like, did you remember this selfie stick thing? So remembering the stick is important. Remember your tools of the trade, because we're not used to that. And then we see stuff going on and we're like, we didn't bring the stick.
You need a stick holster or something. About editing, I think a lot of people would think from what you've said, it's just editing the pieces together. But it's also like adding transitions and B-roll and maybe putting text on the screen, or there's just so
Speeding
many.
up, slowing down, and all
I heard there was 52 steps to this.
Yes, indeed. And editing is really one of them. And within editing, there's multiple steps. I feel like I joke every day, like you guys, we love what we do. Like we love working with the virtual assistants in the Philippines. We love that they enjoy our team and they learn so much. And we are always learning from them as well. And then the excitement of getting to pair them with someone like you guys who really values them and appreciates them and is happy that they're doing things that you don't know how to do or don't want to do or don't have time to do or know it's not the best use of your time. I think that for me, it's why I get up every day, because we get to make these incredible matches. And what's going to happen is your success she's really going to be a part of your success today, tomorrow, in the future. And that's so amazing to have someone who gets to do what they love and be a part of the journey. So everyone is happy with what they're doing.
she gets very excited when we put something out there that gets a lot of views. We talk about it with her. We're like, oh, did you see this one hit 4,000 views? Or like we had a short that we put up yesterday that hit 2,600 views in no time. And we were all so excited about that.
She tells us about it.
If she sees it first, she'll message us. And if we see it, we'll message her. And it's like it's a partnership. And she really, really cares about us doing well. Obviously, she wants to keep her job, she wants to continue working with us. We want her to continue working with us. So we also want her to be successful so that we can all do well together. It's just another team member. It's a partner. So we do love that. Yeah.
So if you want to catch up with Mark and Phyllis, full-time cruisers on YouTube, and do you guys go watch their videos, comment that maybe you saw them on our channel or on the podcast? If you're interested in possibly starting the YouTube channel and getting a fabulous marketing virtual assistant, check out the marketingadvantage.com. We would love to help you start a channel and hire the perfect virtual assistant to help you grow it. So, Mark and Phyllis, thank you so much for being here. This has been so fun.
Thank you for having us.
We can't wait to come and cruise with you.
I was just going to say the same.
There's rooms all over the place. So
we really need to do that.
That would be awesome.
Thank you for joining us, Mark and Phyllis. We had a great time, and we are so looking forward to watching more of your videos and cruising with you at some point.
Thank you. Bon voyage.
Thanks for listening to the Six Figure Business Mastery Podcast. If you enjoyed listening to this episode and you are ready to leverage video marketing on all online platforms, or maybe even start your own video podcast, then you need to check out the Done For You and Done With You program at themarketingvaadvantage.com and take your business to the next level.